I have a hard-hitting question for you. What's the biggest map you can think of on the N64? Right off the bat, it's a pretty subjective question. For most people, they might think Body Harvest might be the biggest map on the N64. I think that is partially true, but I'm not quite sure myself, so let's take a look into some other games on the N64 with huge maps. Here's a game that made you feel like a rat in a maze, Banjo-Tooie. It had enormous maps. It was a far cry from its predecessor, Banjo-Kazooie. Both are great games, but this one just took it to 11. What about games like Pilotwings 64? This is where it gets a little bit tricky because you're on a huge island, but they scale it down. It's not technically impressive like Banjo-Tooie or another game I'm about to talk about, but this was a launch game and it blew people's minds, so is it really countable? If you thought Banjo-Tooie was huge, well, Donkey Kong 64 might be a contender just to be about the same size to it. This game was also enormous, and many people didn't like how big it was compared to the stuff that you need to do. It was a lot of backtracking in this game, but it was very technically impressive. This game could not run without the 64 expansion pack. Well, what about Excitebike 64? This training mode had infinite level to run on because it procedurally generated all of them while you were riding, so you could never run out. Technically, it would be Body Harvest if this counts. I think we could all agree that Hyrule Field was pretty huge, but Termina Field has to take the cake for Zelda here. I mean, Termina Field is massive, guys. It's a big donut. Okay guys, it's obvious that Rare is the king of huge maps on the N64. Jet Force Gemini was another one that was really fun. I think Jet Force Gemini deserves a sequel. It was a pretty cool game on the N64, but if you go back and play it now, it's kinda rough. Of course, if we're talking about huge maps on the N64, we can't forget about Turok 2. Well, what about Aiden Chronicles, the First Mage? This game did have huge maps, but to its detriment. Look how this guy walks, he's so slow. I can clearly see why this game didn't sell very well. So after all that, what is the biggest N64 map? I actually don't know. I guess it depends who you ask. What do you guys think? What do you think the biggest map in the N64 library is? Make sure to drop a comment below and let me know. Make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, smash the bell, hit all the notifications, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for joining.